This is Abbotsford.
I think it's the best place to live in Canada, and I've created this ultimate guide to show you everything you need to know about living in Abbotsford. From breathtaking views to a lifestyle that balances affordability and adventure, Abbotsford truly has it all. But is it right for you? And which neighborhoods offer the best value? What are the best schools in Abbotsford? What's there even to do? And what's the cost of living like? Stick around and I'm going to answer these questions for you and show you why calling Abbotsford home is a great choice. You're an hour away from Vancouver and just minutes to the border, making Abbotsford an ideal location for commuters and adventure seekers. So let's dive right in, and we're going to go right into the cost of living. Now, if you're looking to rent, you can expect to spend anywhere for a 2-bedroom around $1,500, and on the higher end, it's usually around $2,300. It really depends if you're going to get a basement or go for an apartment. Basements are obviously cheaper. We can even see some apartments going for $2,500. This one's a 2-bed, 2-bath. It seems like most other apartments are less than that. If overall we just look through all the listings right now, for a 2-bedroom, the average is probably around $1,700. Now, if you're interested in buying a house, we're looking at some costs here. The average price of a detached home in Abbotsford is about $1.2 million. And for October 2024, the average price of the townhouse is about $664K. And if you're looking at an apartment, the average price in Abbotsford is $441,584. Utilities, transportation, and groceries are also going to be more affordable than, let's say, a city like Vancouver. You can get a monthly bus pass for $52, and gas is typically 15 to 20 cents cheaper per liter than Vancouver. Now let's talk neighborhoods. Whether you're looking for luxury living, family-friendly areas, or affordable options, Abbotsford has something for everyone. I'd consider Eagle Mountain the most prestigious neighborhood in Abbotsford. I think it's lost some of its luster over the past few years, but regardless, I still think it's kind of the most prestigious in Abbotsford. When you think of the nicest places to live in Abbotsford, I think this is one that comes to most people's minds. Prices for houses here, at the low end, they're right under 1.8 million, maybe like 1.75, around that area. So if you're a first-time homeowner, this may be not the best area for you to live in. Eagle Mountain has parks, there's a lot of walking trails, it has some really good schools, and the views here are just absolutely amazing. There is a downside of living in Eagle Mountain. It really doesn't have any commercial amenities. So like any gyms, or you want something to eat, you need to go to a shop, you need to get some gas. Eagle Mountain doesn't have any of that. It's a short drive away from these places, but on Eagle Mountain, you won't get access to any commercial amenities. The second area I want to talk about, also on the east side of Abbotsford, it's Upper 10 Oaks. So there's a good mix here of well-maintained older homes and newer builds. And Ledgeview Golf Club, which I believe to be Abbotsford's best golf course, is in Upper 10 Oaks. So homes here on the lower end are around 1.2 mil, and average cost of homes I'd say is around 1.5. So they kind of range from like 1.2, and you would find some really expensive ones even in this area in the high 2 millions. The next neighborhood I'm going to talk about is the McMillan area. This is a really popular neighborhood. One, I think it's cheaper than some of the other neighborhoods I've talked about. It's in a good catchment school, so same catchment as Eagle Mountain, all those kids are going to the same school. There's recreational facility in the area, and there's walking access to now commercial amenities. You can get food to eat, you can go to the bank, you can do these things, and it's right at your footsteps. I would say it's a really family-friendly vibe, so there's a lot of hustle and bustle, it's pretty congested, but it's really filled with a lot of families. Houses in this area are going to start around the 1 mil mark. You could get some lower, but the lot sizes are definitely smaller. You can also get townhomes, like a 2-bedroom in this area for $450,000, it's just an older building. So I'd say the biggest downside of this area is just the small lot sizes with some of the property you're going to get. You don't always get that big yard that you might want. So if we're looking at the McMillan area, the McMillan area is kind of all this area here. There's a lot of new construction, all this land or there's just this green patch is going to be all houses soon. So a lot of development going on here. And you can just see some of the prices. So these are the townhomes. You can get around 450K houses. I mean, these are up on the hill, maybe a bit more, 1.2, 1.4 we saw there, 1.18, 1.35. So, and these are some of the houses with bigger lots. You can get a townhome, it looks like here, for 930K. And 4-bed, 4-bath townhome, 853. So decent prices in this area. Just a lot more congested than the other neighborhoods we've seen. The next area I want to talk about is the Lower 10 Oaks area. This is where I grew up. I didn't live in this area, but the school I went to is in this area where I work. Right now I'm in this area, so it's a really great area to be in. Very family friendly, really tight-knit community. I think this is an amazing area to raise a family in, and I don't have kids yet, but this is an area I definitely would want them raised in. If you're a first-time home buyer, this is a good area to get into. There's just older homes. Lot sizes aren't bad. It's just the homes are a bit older, so you can get more of a discount on some of these places. You can get into some of the older builds for just under $1 million, around 900K even. But most of the time, be ready to spend like $1 million, 1.1 million for a house that's in good, decent shape in this area. The last area I'm going to talk about is the Clearbrook area, specifically the West Clearbrook area. This is where I currently live. I've lived here for 14 years. I don't have any issues with the area. There's a lot of multi-generational families, a lot of bigger homes in this area. Also, a lot of older homes in the area, so there's a huge income disparity. But you're really close to the highway. You have close access to downtown Abbotsford. Any shops, any restaurants, anything you want to eat, it's really close by. Because the houses in this area are a bit bigger, lot sizes are good, you're going to usually spend at least $1 million to get into a home here, if not more. That's kind of on the lower end. You can find townhouses, they're a bit older buildings. In a couple of years, there's going to be new ones coming up, but right now there is no up-to-date, really like new, fresh townhouses in the area. So we're looking at Clearbrook, and I'm specifically speaking about kind of like West Clearbrook. I mean, this is Clearbrook Road. West Clearbrook would really be all this area here. I'm kind of in this area, and you can see, let's kind of zoom in here. You can get cheap apartments, very cheap apartments. These are really old, and this is kind of in this area is not the greatest area. There is more homelessness. You can get some townhomes, you can see, here, for around 460, 500. I don't see any houses coming up here. We go, like houses are around 1.26. I mean, expect to pay that much for a house in this area. But I do like the area. The biggest problem there is some homelessness right on the main road. Other than that, no real big issues. So those are my top 5 neighborhoods. Now let's dive into lifestyle in Abbotsford. So what are my favorite activities to do here? What kind of attractions are here? What kind of food? So outdoor activity wise, different places I like to be. Number 1, my top place is definitely Mill Lake Park. You can go for a walk here any time of the year. Not always the best weather, but it's a great place to walk. It's beautiful there. If you have kids, it's great for picnicking. There's like an outdoor water park. There's a playground. It's just a great place to be. If you're more into hiking, biking, Sumas Mountain is a really great spot to go. And in the summer, if you want to get your swim on, go paddleboarding, Albert Dick Lake is also an awesome place to see in Abbotsford. Some of the best attractions, we've got Mon Farms in Abbotsford, great place for photo ops. People love going there for their Instagram photos. They do a bunch of seasonal activities. They've got like a pumpkin patch, haunted house, sunflower type of thing going on. If you're in Abbotsford, definitely check it out. Castle Fun Park is probably one of the Fraser Valley's, definitely Abbotsford's, most iconic attractions. Go there to play games. You can go go-karting. There's a batting cage, tons of different games to win tickets. Outside, it's like a medieval castle, so it just pops out. If you're a kid or an adult, it's a fun place to be. Abbotsford also hosts an international air show. It's yearly every summer. Planes flying around for a week kind of practicing, And then the show is just absolutely spectacular. They have some really cool things going on. It's something you don't want to miss. When it comes to dining and shopping, we've got 2 major shopping centers in Abbotsford. I wouldn't say like they're the best in the world. They're mediocre. If you need to go get something quick, they're a good place to go. Food-wise, there is a lot of options because there is a lot of multiculturalism in Abbotsford, so you can go and try a lot of different foods. Also got really nice restaurants. I love personally in Abbotsford going to, let's say, Cactus Club or Lou's. Next, I'm going to talk about the best schools in Abbotsford. I'm going to focus on high schools and I'm going to focus on public high schools. My top 3 public schools, we've got Yale Secondary, we've got Robert Bateman Secondary, and W.J. Mowat. I think all 3 are really good options. I've listed those in the order which I think are, the best, and then good but not as good, and again good and not as good. So Yale Secondary, Robert Bateman, and W.J. Mowat. In Abbotsford, you have to live in your school's catchment area unless you're in like a specialty program. And these schools do have that. I'm going to make another video that dives deeper into schools and education. I hope now you have a better understanding of Abbotsford, what the life is like here, the cost of living is like, where the best places to go are, what there is to do here. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. This was my first ever YouTube video. I'm going to be creating more and more content about Abbotsford, so subscribe, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video.